When women post in these "Am I overreacting" or "Am I the a-hole" subreddits, they're simply looking for validation for feeling normal human emotions. So this wife posts in the "Am I overreacting" wondering. She says, "Am I overreacting being told I'm lucky to be with my husband?" So let's look at this text exchange. So the husband is in gray saying, "I know you're not going to understand this at all, but it is so crystal clear to me how lucky you are to have us. I honestly can't see any man that would finally get to your core and think it's a great deal they got. Luckily, I've known you for enough time where I love you anyway. So I love you despite all of your issues," or whatever he's saying. She's saying, reading between the lines here, "I'm lucky to have you because no one else would want me. And you love me anyway." Here's her caption. She says, "Background. We were talking and he said something to me that he thought was fine. I said I was hurt by his comment and that it was disrespectful. He doubled down that it's not his fault that I'm hurt rather than acknowledge my feelings. The fight has spiraled since then. So I get this text message. Am I reading this right? I'm so lucky to have my husband and my 3 stepkids because no man who truly knew me would be with me. This feels really effed up, but maybe I'm overreacting. Unrelated but somewhat relevant, my husband has been unemployed for 3 years. I worked hard to support our entire family, including the vacation that I'm on right now, that we're on right now." This is where I was tagged in at the bottom. Victor the cutie says, as Bourbon Bougie would say, "Make this man lonelier." So, in relationships, there are going to be things that crop up. You bring it to someone's attention, you say, "I was hurt." She says she was hurt by something. She doesn't expound. But instead of him acknowledging the hurt or the comment or whatnot, he said, "I ain't do anything." He said, "Matter of fact, you should just still be lucky to have me in your life." That is classic DARVO. DARVO stands for Deny, Attack, Reverse, Victim, Offender. It is a manipulation tactic where you bring something that you believe is valid. You want to have a conversation, and they say that this did not happen. It's to get you confused. It's to make it like, am I the one that's really the problem? And that's the reason why people do come to these "Am I overreacting" subreddits, because they think that they are the ones that did something wrong, because that is what DARVO, a manipulation tactic, will have you thinking. I did something wrong. She says, he didn't even acknowledge her feelings. Like, why are you even saying this kind of things to me? It is not my fault. You just took it wrong. That is someone that is not a safe person to be around. You could be hurt by something, and it could be a very valid something to say. And someone who cares about you would be like, "You know what? I'm sorry." But this person is like, "I don't even know why you tripping. You got me." But let's get into some of the comments. This is what Mike says. Mike says, "Wow, definitely not overreacting. That's some backhanded BS that sounds straight from a narcissist's mouth. Obviously can't diagnose someone from a secondhand text message, but this sure sounds like something a narc would say. Did he love bomb you in the beginning and then kept you off balance ever since as you tried to please him so he'll act like he did in the beginning? If so, that person doesn't exist and never did. Couple that with him being a deadbeat. Maybe it's time to cut your losses before more losses come. Sounds like he doesn't want you knowing your worth. He wouldn't want you to start, I'm sorry, he wouldn't want to start working to support his own kids, I'm sure. I hope his kids are at least nice to you and hope their goals in life are bigger than finding a significant other to latch onto and bleed like their father. Sorry for the harshness. Your story really pissed me off for you. The douche is even questioning your intelligence with that. I know you're not going to understand this." Exactly. And then this person says, "Just wow. Thanks for the 2 awards, kind Reddit folks." Beyond Abel Crip says, "Not overreacting. I'm reading it as he is straight up saying he's giving you a gift by loving you. I was married to a diagnosed sociopath before I got rid of him and came out. Would say like this to me constantly. I was like a deer in the headlights for his narcissism, manipulation, and controlling behavior coming from an abusive childhood. Would say that he could only accept me for how messed up I really was because he understood. I was lucky to have him because he was basically slumming to be with me because his family had money and my mom threw me out at 16. So I was broke and didn't speak to my family for over 2 years after I was made to leave. He began with showering me with compliments and slowly began to isolate me from my friends, making me believe it was because he always wanted to be with me. Slowly, the insults came, the head games and put downs, but always with a compliment. It all started as little things until after my son was born. Then it was all out mental, physical, and emotional abuse. You're not there, but you are not in a good place, and you deserve so much better. And that is true. She's not there exactly. You're not there, but you're not in a good place and you deserve so much better. I believe that that should be highlighted because you don't want to get to that point where you are mentally, physically, and emotionally abused. He is kind of priming her and setting the scene. Easy to tell you to leave when it's not the easiest thing to do. You can insist on therapy, counseling, and see if it works. Wish you would look into a therapist for yourself if you don't already have one. Think it's more important to get you to therapy so you can talk about what you're dealing with and get the support you need. I'm really sorry that was said to you. No one should speak to you like that, whether it's said in anger or said because he believes it. Ask yourself if this was your best friend or your sister or mom, someone you loved, told you that they were treated this way. What would you say to them? What would you want for them? Wishing you the best. Hope you can get the support you need and deserve. She says, OP, read your other posts and comments. This has been going on for over 2 years. He doesn't work. You're paying for everything, even the vacation. This emotional and verbal abuse has been ongoing. You need to decide if you want to stay in a relationship like this that's also showing these children what a marriage is, and sadly the cycle repeats. Children learn what they live, hoping yours break the cycle and end up like mine thankfully did. Yes, break the cycle. Don't normalize people talking to you crazy. Don't normalize being with a deadbeat that thinks that you are lucky to be there supporting them. Here's the OP. After getting some perspective, she came back and edited. She says, I don't know how to edit my original post, so I'm commenting here. Every few years, I hear this little voice saying, this isn't right. This isn't how you should be treated. So I created this account to ask the opinions of strangers, not people who know me and my family. Same reason I talk to a therapist. Outside, uninfluenced perspectives. Comments and DMs suggest I'm karma farming. Not sure what that is or needing validation. You're probably right on this. This text felt like a point of no return. And I guess that's the part I couldn't articulate when I first posted. Am I overreacting? Because this feels like the final straw for me, like divorce worthy, over a text message. Doesn't that just sound stupid and trivial? But I'm calling lawyers on Monday. I'm lovable at my core. And if I'm so damn awful as a few have suggested, then I'm sure he'll be better off without me. Thank you all for your support. And sometimes people do come in and troll and say mean spirited things like maybe you are the problem or whatnot. They don't want women to just up and leave. And she's feeling that. But she is feeling support as well. And I'm glad that she got that validation that she was looking for. Venus is Twisted says, so proud of you. I saw my mom get treated like this for my entire life until she was able to leave my dad after 20 plus years of marriage. Now my mom's personality can shine and she's the happiest I've ever seen. Stay strong and don't let him convince you that you're overreacting or a bad person or whatever. I hope everything works out. We're rooting for you. And Spank the Good Girl says, I'm proud of you. You are lovable and deserve someone who knows that, tells you, and acts like it. Bravo for taking action. It's not right at all that he treats you that way. And that's the thing. That's the thing about Reddit. Sometimes it does create a community group hug for people that need it. She was looking for some validation that she was feeling something that was off, and she got that today. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this one. Join the conversation and like, comment, and share.